Welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow, India's only daily television platform for small businesses. We bring you the right information to empower you. The SME entrepreneur tonight on the show, two small giants. First up is Arture in focus, and on the other side of a break, Indore-based Wittyfeed. Our first small giant tonight is creating a disruption in the vegan product space, whether it's handbags, wallets, or any other accessories, you name it. And this Chennai-based company makes it. Shreya Sarbadikari caught up with this company to really understand how Arture is making a difference when it comes to this industry, just how niche it is, whether enough understanding really of what vegan products are and what the way forward is. Listen in.
Shivani, thank you so much for coming here today. I want to start by asking the story behind Arture and how did you come up with the name?
So I'm basically an accessory designer. I studied in NIFT, Chennai. I studied accessory design, specializing in footwear and leather goods. And while I was initially working with leather goods, I had a lot of people coming to me and asking if I could create designer high quality products which were not made of leather, because people were slowly becoming conscious about what they're using.
Sure.
But at the same time, sustainability and ecological aspect was very important to me. So that became a challenge for me, like how can I create something that's non-leather but sustainable at the same time. I happened to come across cork, and it was perfect for the brand that I wanted to create, and that's how Arture was born. And the name Arture came just from, like, I was thinking about a name for a long time, and the name Arture came from the two main inspirations behind the brand, which is art and nature. So I put that together.
Shivani, I understand that you come from a designing background. So tell me, do you do the designing and the manufacturing all by yourself?
So yeah, I do the designing myself. For manufacturing, we have our own in-house manufacturing unit. We are just a 3-member team right now.
Right.
And so we have our own artisans who we've trained to match the quality levels that we hope to achieve, and we do all the production in-house there.
You have partnered with an NGO which is Rescue for Rescue Animals. So tell us more about this partnership.
What we do is we donate a portion of our profit from every sale on our website.
Sure.
To their cause. And we wanted to create a system where people understand where their money is going. It's not like, you know, you just have a checkbox saying, okay, donate 5 rupees or donate 5% to this cause. We want you to really understand what is this money being used for. So if you go through our website, on any of our product pages, you just click on any product, you read the product description, there will be a tab that says rescue, where you can read what this, for example, a card case, it would say this contributes for deworming tablets for puppies in rescue. Right. Or it would say it contributes to surgical equipment, or it helps feed 5 dogs for 1 day. So something substantial, something that you can understand, okay, this is what I'm contributing towards, you know. When it's something you can imagine, it has a lot more meaning to it.
Moving on to the product, I want to understand a little more about the material which you outsource. How cost effective is that?
I'd like to talk a little bit about cork as well, because it's a very unique material. It's not like any other material you have. Now, the first misconception that people have is that, for example, like paper, where you cut down trees to make paper, people think, oh, you cut down the cork tree to get cork. But that's not the case. So the cork is harvested from the bark of the cork tree once in every 9 to 12 years.
Sure.
And the tree lives for 200+ years. And these are all like farmers who pass on these trees from generation to generation, and they harvest it by hand even now. I recently had the pleasure of visiting the cork forests in Spain, and it was just beautiful to see how this entire thing is done. So that is about the material, and which makes it one of the most ecological materials of its kind. And we import it from there, but that is the only, the main component of our product that we import. Everything else is sourced from within India itself. Including our packaging, the lining fabrics, the zippers, etc. So there is that additional cost of transporting it and the customs duty. But yeah, it's not something that is locally available, because it grows only in that Mediterranean region, because it requires that climate and that soil to grow.
You're a very young entrepreneur. You've just started. This is your first company, I believe. Yeah. So what are the challenges that you've had to come across?
So it's a lot of just slowly understanding how things work. I think a lot of challenges being a young entrepreneur is understanding not just your core area of expertise, but how do you run a business?
Absolutely.
Right? That's something, and I studied design. And that's definitely not something that was covered as a part of my course. So that's something that just hits you in the face, because you start, especially let's say a fashion brand or anything creative, you start thinking, oh, I'm going to be designing every day. But then the reality is that a lot more of the work involves running the company, doing your marketing, doing your sales, all of this. And I think just with time, you understand what works for your brand. You try, and I think one thing that I've learned is very important is creating a very strong brand identity. That's something I have learned with time, and I'm still understanding every day, like understanding and learning more.
Because you were talking about marketing, I just want to pick up that point. What's your best source of marketing? How do you reach out to the public? How do you reach out to people saying that, okay, this is a brand which is sustainable, which is vegan, and you should buy it?
So we do use social media channels to reach our customers, and we've slowly become known as a vegan brand, which is really high quality. We have customers who have been coming back to us from year one. They buy something and then they want to buy it for their friends because they've tried it out and they love the quality. So that word of mouth has worked, and I think for a small startup who does not have too much of funds to invest into marketing, like sometimes you just create a great product and the product speaks for itself, and that it sells itself because people talk, and that has helped. And in the second year, we did a lot of events across India. So in Chennai, in Bangalore, in Mumbai, we were a part of different flea markets, fashion events, those kind of things. Like there's the Little Flea in Mumbai, there's Soul Sante in Bangalore, and that helped put ourselves out in front of people because they want to touch and feel it first. And then once they see it, then they might come online and buy. That is one thing about our website sales. But there's also, like, we reach out to boutiques. We're present in 15 boutiques across India and about 10 others globally, as well as other online platforms as well.
I want to understand your pricing point. How are you pricing your product and how commercially viable is it?
So I consider us in terms of pricing on par with a good quality leather goods brand. And we've often been asked by customers who want to understand like why we're priced the way we're priced, or a lot of people want to understand like why do sustainable products or ethically made products cost more. So that's something like I think it's very important for people to understand, and sometimes I even recommend watching this documentary called The True Cost, which talks about the fashion industry and the fast fashion industry and what is the true cost of all these really cheap products that you're buying. And it basically boils down to the fact that somewhere in the supply chain, there are laborers who are paying for you to get products at a cheap rate because you wanted to save $1 here, or you saved 1,000 rupees on a dress, but then these people are not able to afford a living because of that. And is it really worth that? So that's a question like that people really need to think about, and we wanted to definitely take this into account, and I make sure that so it's not just at the brand level, right? We make sure our artisans are paid properly and they have safe working conditions. But it boils down to every point in the supply chain. Every supplier of mine, who's working for them. Are those people paid fairly? Are they working in good conditions? So it's like taking all of that into account. It comes at a certain cost, but I think you and I are people who can afford it. The people who are making our products can't afford that.
Is it difficult to be ethically viable?
I don't think so, not in today's world especially, because I think customers, it's wonderful that it's happening, and customers are becoming a lot more conscious. They're willing to spend that little bit more for something that's made in good conditions, a cruelty-free product, not just for animals, also the environment and also the people who have made that product. And also, it's also there's this entire movement of buy less and buy well.
Absolutely.
Right? You buy a product that is going to last you a long time. It might cost you a little bit more, but instead of buying 10 things, buy that one really good thing.
You've had brilliant products in the market. For Arture, for you, what's in the pipeline?
So last year, after 2 years of business, we launched a new color, which was really exciting for our customers. We launched a teal colorway. In terms of products, we want to extend into other categories of accessories. For example, belts would be the next thing that I'd like to experiment with.
Thank you so much for talking to us today, and wish you all the luck.
Thank you so much.
Time for a short break. Wittyfeed is our second small giant tonight. Much more on that when we come back from the short break. Just stay tuned. Welcome back with us here on Leaders of Tomorrow, and tonight our second small giant is Wittyfeed. While there are many players when it comes to the digital content space, the world's second largest digital content maker is based not here in Mumbai or Delhi or any other of India's metros for that matter, but in Indore. If you're as surprised as us when we first found this out, do take a look to Wittyfeed and what they're really doing differently. Mansi Choksey traveled to Indore to understand more about this company. Take a look.
Wittyfeed is an emerging name in the world of viral content websites that are striking a chord with the millennial internet users. Launched in 2014, Wittyfeed has managed to become the world's second largest viral content company. We caught up with the team behind this to know what makes the content go viral.
I guess there's just one thing that makes content viral. It is the human touch.
We tell stories that are relatable. It has to strike with the right emotions.
To make a content like go viral, what you need is value. If a reader comes to your website, then he should get some value that he can carry after reading the article.
Wittyfeed is one of the top websites in India. But before this success, you had your own share of failures. Tell us something about your entrepreneurial journey and what is the idea behind Wittyfeed?
First of all, thank you so much, Mansi, for having us on the show. It all started in 2010 when I was in first year of my engineering. I met my co-founder Shashank, who is my classmate from college, and my own brother, who is the third co-founder of the company. Three of us, we started this company. It all started with making websites and softwares for people. We literally built websites for $500 when we started. And ever since, the journey has been, and I'd say it's been a roller coaster ride. We We happened to be introduced to content in 2012 for the first time. When we started a Facebook page, it became viral. It became really, really big. In first 6 months, we had more than 1 million followers on the Facebook page. And one thing led to another. In between, we did a lot of things. We failed quite a lot of times. But finally, in 2014, September 2014, with a simple idea and with a simple belief that stories are extremely powerful, but the only limiting factor to the impact of a story is the distribution of a story. The larger distribution it can be, the larger impact of the story will be. So we started Wittyfeed as the front end, as the front side of the platform. In the back end, we created a technology platform which basically let anyone who had any sort of social audience come join our platform, share our content, and we used to share revenue with them. I very funnily tell people that it's been 8 years since 2010 today, and we have been near to bankruptcy situation 8 times.
So there are a couple of points that comes out of this answer. First of all, you have been talking about bankruptcy. You have been talking about how funding and the capital was such a big issue with you. So tell me, why did you choose to bootstrap? What was there that you did not go for fundraising?
I just did not understand funding as a concept, investors, angels, etc., etc. Of course, when we started to build it and we started to become bigger, we started to understand it. The second reason and the bigger reason became when we went out to the VCs and told them that we want to build a global media company out of a tier 2 city in Indore. They just said that it can't be done. And I have them on record telling me that one, India cannot create global. Second, even if it were to create global, media is not something that we can do global. Third, even if you were to do that, Delhi and Bombay or Bangalore would be that place, not a tier 2 city called Indore. So they just outright told me that it can't be done, which is when 3 of the founders, we kind of took it on our ego and said that, now probably the idea is to do it and then go back to them and tell them that, it can be done. So we just decided to build it without any external funding, and we just built it.
So you are talking about people coming back to you saying that you can't build a global content company out of a tier 2 city, which is a question which a lot of people might be wondering right now. A lot of entrepreneurs prefer to set up their operations in tier 1 cities like Bangalore, Mumbai or Delhi, but you chose Indore. What was the reason behind this?
Indore has 98 colleges within 40-kilometer radius of where you are sitting right now. It includes engineering, it includes mass communication, it includes management colleges, etc., which means there is a lot of talent. Indore is the only city in the country which has IIT and IIM both in the same city. Indore has 4,000 small and medium-sized IT outsourcing / product companies. 4,000 is a lot, right? Which means again there's a lot of talent. The talent moves from these cities to the larger cities when they don't get jobs and world-class opportunities to work in their places. When we provided them opportunities here, the talent problem just went away. Another idea was, did you know that the cost of workforce and infrastructure and everything compared to a Delhi, Bombay here is 40%. Less than half of what you spend in Delhi to run a company is what you have to run in Indore. And then we really strongly believe that India needs to decentralize its economy if we really want to grow, right?
What would you tell to entrepreneurs who are from tier 2 cities and who do not want to leave their cities, go for a Bombay, a Bangalore or a Delhi and start something in their own tier 2 cities? What would you tell them?
I would just tell them that you are doing absolutely the most right thing that you could do. Your cost is going to be right. It is going to be minuscule compared to a Delhi, Bombay. That itself will set you apart from every other company, every other competition. You are going to get amazing talent. All you need is a little bit of patience to work with those guys and train them and help them understand your thought process. But then you have them. The loyalty of people you get in tier 2 cities is amazing.
The content space is cluttered and saturated. A number of companies are in this space. Probably when you started, it wasn't this saturated. But now you have so much competition. They're all putting out content which is similar in nature. So what sets you apart?
In last 4 years that we have existed, the number of internet users in India alone has quadrupled. So we need lot and lot more of content on internet to be consumed by these people, one. Second, we already have first mover advantage, and the scale at which we operate today, our competitors are not even near us. Also, the parent company, which Vatsana Technologies, is we as a DNA have evolved quite a lot. We are not just Wittyfeed. We have diversified ourselves into different segments, different niche. As I said, there are 10 different websites that we operate now, like Wittyfeed. We have a vernacular play as well. We have launched our Hindi site couple of quarters ago, which has been growing and which has just become one of the largest Hindi sites in the country in 6 months itself. So the core belief that we have that distribution is the key to the success of a content piece and then a content company, we have solved the distribution problem in the content ecosystem really, really well.
Tell us something about your monetization and distribution strategy.
Yeah, so I think our monetization also is kind of a USP that has led us to become the kind of success that we have become today. So usually content companies, every content company in the world, they rely on advertising as their source of revenue and as their monetization strategy. But most of them, they rely on brand revenue more versus programmatic revenue, which is a type of revenue in our industry, right? Whereas we did exactly the opposite. We cracked programmatic revenue as the core and base of this company. We built our company on programmatic revenue.
Sure.
And we were able to basically build, as I said again, unit metrics in such a way that whatever we spend to acquire the audience that we acquire, we make more than that through the programmatic optimizations that we have done on the other side of the equation.
So what is future looking like?
So basically, content today is very centralized, content discovery and distribution, right? You go to a Facebook, you scroll through it, and you distribute, you discover content, right? And as a user, then you probably go to a Google, type something, there's an intent, and Google gives you, a list of content against that. Other than that, there is nowhere that you can discover content, frankly. And that has to change. That is not good for the overall ecosystem of distribution. And so we have been working on solutions where how can you provide tools to publishers where content distribution and discovery becomes a little more democratic in nature. And for which we have been building a platform. The platform is called Wittyfeed. Just to give you a quick look into what this platform is going to be about. The idea behind Wittyfeed's platform is that the content discovery and content distribution has to be contextual in nature. And so what we are doing is we are basically taking content inside every app in the world.
Vinay, thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you so much, Mansi, and thank you so much, ET Now, for hosting us again on the show. Sure. It's an honor.
All right, that's our show tonight. If you have any feedback for us, here's how you get in touch. leadersoftomorrowtimesgroup.com is our email ID. On social media, tweet at me personally at Sunanda_J or LOT_ET Now. Get in touch with us on our Facebook page, Leaders of Tomorrow on ET Now. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.